lpbw Tori Roloff nervous about Lila's upcoming surgery. Tori Roloff and Zach Roloff and the sleep study. On an episode of lpbw in March, Zach Roloff and his wife revealed to TLC fans that they did some sleep studies. It turned out that their little girl suffers from sleep apnea. So Zach said that she might need to have her tonsils out. Did you know that sleep apnea can be dangerous and cause breathing difficulties at night? If you are unaware, it's not uncommon for little people like Tori Roloff's child to get sleep apnea. In fact, the little couple alum, Will Klein, also a little person, volunteers for sleep studies years after his diagnosis, so it can be examined in detail by medical experts. TLC starlet Lila Roloff's surgery on podcast. Last week's Raising Heights podcast on YouTube discussed the kids, gender roles, plumbing issues, and more. In it, Zach Roloff reminded TLC fans that Layla turns 5 in November this year. At the 2250 marker, the Little People, Big World Stars couple discussed Layla Roloff's upcoming surgery. Tori Roloff started off by telling Zach Roloff, "So we found out Layla has to have her tonsils and adenoids out. That's gonna be fun." But she didn't look amused, and Zach said, "She'll have that at the end of the month." Jackson never needed it, or at least doesn't need it yet. But Layla has severe sleep apnea, and so they're gonna take her tonsils and adenoids out, which I am a little nervous about. So that's what I'm kinda nervous about because, Jackson woke up both times pretty terribly, and it wasn't until we got home that he was finally able to relax and kinda sit and be okay. The Little People, Big World Star also spoke about how the surgeon plans to keep Layla overnight, which makes her a bit anxious. She noted, "You just want to get back home and not stay at the hospital." In the comments, lpbw fans discussed Layla Roloff and kids needing surgeries. I get it though because it is upsetting when I see your baby with wires connected to them. Your first reaction is shock. In the 60s, all children here in the Netherlands, doctors were taking tonsils out. Which is not a good thing because let's face it, they're in there for a purpose. So now it's only done if there is a real cause, and I can imagine there is. All the best to Layla and her surgery. Little People, Big World's Matt Roloff dishes on future of TLC show. I hate saying goodbye. With the fate of Little People, Big World up in the air, Matt Roloff is sharing his 2 cents on if the series has finally come to a close. Now that season 25 has aired its last episode, the Roloff family patriarch, 62, answered questions surrounding the future of his family's long-running reality show and why he believes TLC, who has not commented on the status of the show, is waiting to announce the series finale in a statement shared to Facebook on April 26. Matt began by saying that he was no longer under a contract NDA with the network and could speak much more freely before responding to rumors that the April 23 season 25 finale was the series finale of Little People, Big World. It's true that several family members have announced publicly that they are no longer interested in filming lpbw. He said, noting that he and his ex-wife Amy Roloff, along with the show's producers, have known that their children have had no desire to come back on camera for quite some time. Though he claimed the Roloff family completed our contract obligations and wrapped filming last September, Matt believes that the network has refrained from an announcement that last week's episode was its series finale to leave the possibility of potential specials open. The father of 4 claimed his family informed TLC that they were no longer interested in filming and wanted to go back to running the farm and our normal lives in 2010. Despite their desires to quit, he said the network convinced them to return through specials centered around traveling and the weddings organized at their family farm. This is why I think there is some hesitation to announce from TLC that the show is over, he continued. Even though the family as a whole is enjoying being away from it all after 19 to 20 years. Karen, Chandler, Matt's fiancée, and many other family members have publicly stated they are done with filming. Matt also acknowledged that the show was a relationship-based program, and he feels it's been more difficult to produce the same content as more and more family members drift away from the show. "I know I can't predict the future," he continued. "It's my guess that the network can't either. I do think that TLC did a nice job on the last Tuesday season finale episode hedging their bets and putting a nice button on the show, and where the family members that still participate stands.